Hey there everybody, Destin Legary, and I am here on Grand Oak Raceway in Forza Motorsport, and I had a lovely race that I thought I would commentate really quick. Right off the bat, you see this player just drive across the entire thing. I don't even try and avoid it. I think what's happening is they have all their assists turned on because I was doing that for some capture earlier, and the car will always just go right to the line. Anyway, getting back to the race, this is a really pretty clean race. Lots of really good drivers, and I was very surprised and happy. Like a little bit of collision in the beginning, but for the most part, people are driving better than okay, not that guy, but people are driving better than I expected. Now, I'm playing on the new patch update, and thus far, I haven't had a ton of issues. You can see Z over there driving off into the abyss. And I have gone from 22nd to 14th early on, picking the medium tires, just trying to run a super clean race. And I spend most of my time right around here until the end. You see, my strategy in this whole video was to get the 12 places achievement in Forza Motorsport, and you can see that cult master no longer a master whatsoever, as he and a bunch of other players just go flying off of the track. And I'm just here doing my thing. I'm not going to try and get too aggressive. I'm going to try and let the driving do the talking, so to speak. And this far, I'm doing pretty good. I've done the smallest of tunes on the Volkswagen that I'm driving here. Basically, what I've done is adjust the gearing, because it's one of the easiest things that you can do. If you know your top speed on this track is like 150, but you're tuned to go a max of like 180, there's no reason for your tune to be set up that way. So I will take the acceleration. You can see right here, I fight against this character quite a bit throughout the race. Very solid driver. He's not messing around. You can see everybody up there. We're on lap 3 of 8 right now. Everybody's getting a little bit squirrely. Everybody's getting a little bit bumpy, as potentially some people have taken soft tires and they're starting to wear down. Some bad driving here on my part. I cut that corner a little rough, but here I am. I'm in 8th place, right behind Bamula. How much you want to bet he bumps me? Yeah, there it is. And Bad As 6067. Just the reason I'm sharing this race with you and adding commentary is just so you have something to listen to instead of just watch the footage, and because I'm a big fan of Super GT, obviously a much better driver than I am. He said pay attention to what the best drivers do, right? And what they do is they rewatch their races, which not hitting the brakes nearly fast enough. I think he got bumped, and this really threw me off my game for a few seconds. So I got a 1 second penalty, and I'm not sure what's going on with everybody here around the 10th place spot. But anyway, what Super GT said to do is watch other players and what they do. And what they'll often do is watch the races back and pay attention to what the first place drivers do. Now, the first place driver in this instance took hard tires, took 10 laps of fuel, and I matched that fuel amount. I usually do about a lap more than what the race calls for. But I went with medium tires, and it would end up paying off. Now, you can see first place is 8 seconds ahead of everybody. Clearly a custom tune and a much better driver than I am as I level up my car. But I'm doing okay. I got okay tread right now. We're on lap 5 of 8. So I think I picked right. I get a little bit more grip, and I'm able to keep going around the track. And I'm just doing my best to, have a very clean race. Now, the reason I dropped down in second is because this is a really tight corner. You can't really accelerate too much, so I want to keep as much momentum as I can going on second. while also slowing down appropriately. Things are going to continue from lap 5, getting absolutely crazy. As you can see, he touches just a little bit of gravel and it sends him all over the track, slowing him down a ton. You don't really need to slow down in this corner. I try and hit the shift right there on the apex usually. Held it this time, but it just gives you that little bit additional amount of traction, I've noticed. And usually it works out quite well for me. Now, I've had a mostly clean race this far, and my strategy was basically this. Rock medium tires, drive clean, and I'm willing to bet, just based on the multiplayer races that I've had, people aren't going to know how to control their vehicles once their tread is worn. And I'll get there also, because I picked the mediums. You can see we're at about half tread right now, but I still have full contact and everything. And we see a player just let me go by. It was just such a good race. I felt like everybody was racing pretty clean. There are a few dirty drivers, as I have my worst mistake of the whole race here, and Colt comes back from earlier in the race. Remember, he went flying off the edge, but everybody's just driving pretty clean. And there's Dailara, who is racing with all assists on. Has to be all assists in ghost mode at this point, because everybody's lapping that character. Hope they're having fun, though. Did not mean to smash them right off the bat. Anyway, continuing on here, we're on lap 7, so everybody's getting really squirrely right about here, and you can see exactly what I thought would happen happens. 2 cars just totally out of the race. They're done. Like, they'll be able to come back and come in like 12th maybe, but that's really hard to correct. Here I am with Bad Az and Cult X-Master again, just keeping right up with them. It's getting a little bit bumpy for those of us who have tread, and I go to yellow tread on the right tire, and I start to feel it here on lap 7. So I am aware, and there's another player just not being able to control the vehicle appropriately. Maybe they drove too hard on their tires, but I'm holding up okay. And we're on lap 8. I'm in 8th place. I just let him go. I let the Audi go because he's driven pretty clean. He's not driving rough. And he passed me fair and square, but I think I can catch up to him because I think he's been driving really hard on that car the whole race. I give him a few love taps here because I know we're coming up on that final turn and everybody's going to get super duper aggressive from this point forward. A few things I did at the start of the race. I did not do a qualifying lap. I just canceled out of qualifying and then I just practiced. And here we go. This is the big corner. This is going into the end. You can see the 3 of us are neck and neck and neck, and it's amazing what happens here at the end. Right before the end, if you look in the rearview mirror, you can see absolute pandemonium taking place. And because I have a 1-second penalty, because of all that craziness, I hold my 6th place and finish very strong and get the 12th place achievement, starting in 22nd, finishing in 6th. Now, I'm sure you would say, oh, typical IGN, you can't get a podium finish. That wasn't the goal of the race. The goal is to have a good race, and I love this race, and I hope you understand why this was a good race. I just wanted to lay down some commentary so you had, my lovely voice to listen to while we went through it, but that's probably the best Forza Motorsport online race I've ever had in the game thus far. I have been practicing, looking what the pros do, and Head 12 took it with an insane 7:58 total time. But that was a lot of fun. Are you playing Forza Motorsport? The new update's been great. I haven't had as many multiplayer issues as I've been having, but I've been having a lot of fun. Let me know what you think. For more on all things Forza, keep it right here at IGN.